everybody, and welcome to the Garage, the Court of Public Opinion. Here, being posted on a Tuesday morning. We're recording on a Monday afternoon. And thank you for joining us and making this posting and the subsequent podcasting that Andy Martin looks after so successful. No promotion, no advertising, but somehow you found us. Thank you. No, I'm very grateful. How are you? How's the back?
Still there.
Peter Clayton, walking wounded but soldiering on.
Still a little bit painful.
Gary.
Good afternoon, Jeremy.
Welcome to the Garage.
Thank you very much.
Now, as we mentioned a few weeks ago, the floods up north were devastating, absolutely devastating. They're now receding, making way for amazing bird and wildlife as Central Australia bursts into colour. Great for tourism, great for photographers. Pete, what would you be able to do with that?
Oh, I'd have a field day, absolutely.
And we need the water down here, but I don't know how we're going to get it down here. We'll have to figure out something. Technologically, I'm sure it's possible. America has made it quite clear the Indo-Pacific, that's us, is in great danger. And we have to spend more on defence. Up from 2.3% of GDP to 3.5% and ultimately 5% of GDP. Clearly Labor is, with its current agenda, can't do it. Look, yes you can. The Aboriginal industry costs more than the Defence Department. And the NDIS, whoa, currently growing at nearly 10% a year. Prime Minister Albanese, you can do it easily. You've just got to get your priorities right. For God's sake. A new COVID variant is out and about. And on top of that, 86,000 have come down with the latest seasonal flu. Many hospitalised in just the last 6 weeks. Get the jab, COVID and seasonal. Do it as quickly as you can. 84% of us have PFAS, the forever chemicals, in our bodies. 84%. God. We'll do something on that on Friday morning with our live streaming show around the dining room table, jeremycordeaux.com. 9 to 12 is where you'll find us. Put it in your... Now, Pete, I don't know. Do you put it in Safari or do you Google it, or what do you do?
Just Google it, it's easy.
Yeah, okay, Google it.
Google it and it'll come up.
Google it, jeremycordeaux.com. Yeah. 9 to 12, but we do run over a bit. We get wound up. And it goes on a bit. The weight loss industry continues to fight back against the miracle weight loss injections. Now, we've had all sorts of scares. We've had premature aging, hair loss, eye damage, memory loss. It's one scare a week, really. This week, it's liver damage. Couldn't you people just go bankrupt quietly? Maybe? Huh? I understand you fighting for life, but do it without the scare campaign, huh? Watching the demonstrations around the world against Israel and the war in the Gaza Strip. A sea of flags, so many flags. Lots of rainbow flags. LGBTIQ flags. Do these stupid people know that homosexuality in the Gaza Strip is punishable by death? In the Palestinian or Arab world, homosexuals are persecuted. What are you there waving flags for? You can't be that stupid. Unless your demonstrations have got nothing to do with Palestinians. I don't know. Go figure. I don't know. No one says anything. No one asks them anything. Let me tell you about some scammers. Now, look, I won't do it now. Please be careful. Anything that you get as an email or a text, you must treat it as a scam until you're otherwise convinced. Maybe I won't do it here because I've got a lot to talk about. I'll do it on Friday. But I got something from the ANZ Bank. It must have come out of India or the Philippines. And there is a way you can check the origin of these things. But, you know, it's the logo, it's the language, they know you. It's scary. Be very, very careful. Tread cynically. The makeup of Parliament is looking more clear, but quite frightening. Labour will dominate the lower house, and with the Greens, the upper house, where they can pass any legislation they want. The worst nightmare, really. One good thing, One Nation, it seems, has doubled its number of Senate seats. They're looking more and more like the choice for Conservatives. It's a long and expensive journey, but what's the alternative? The dead red hand of socialism. Not for me, ladies and gentlemen. More foreign boats arriving in Australian waters and on the mainland. It's almost impossible to stop them. But don't equivocate. No publicly funded lawyers and court cases. Every illegal immigrant must be sent home. No ifs and buts. As quickly as possible. While people in Melbourne erupt, and boy did they, particularly the farmers, erupt over the emergency services levy being imposed at the moment, the people of South Australia will receive an increase in their ESL bill. Once in, you know, it's funny, a tax or a levy will be relentlessly increased. Don't raise taxes, cut waste and bureaucracy, and don't be afraid to do it. No Labor government will do that, of course, because that's their voter base. But what of the rest? Will they have the courage? Come out and offer a sound alternative? A popular alternative, maybe? Laura Tingle has been the subject of many complaints. I don't know if you guys watch Laura Tingle on the ABC. She's been the subject of many complaints over the years, and I know because I've made a few of them myself. An unabashed left-winger, but a respected journalist for 40 years. Did she jump, or was she pushed from her political perch of privilege? She will leave the Canberra Gallery to take on the role of international editor. Now, I'm a bit suspicious about that. I think she should be as well. In radio, they usually take you out of what you're doing and put you in charge of special projects. Be careful. It'll be interesting to see, anyway, who will take her place. Why don't they try and get some balance while they've got the opportunity? Has the ABC ever thought about that? Someone who reports instead of campaigning. It will, of course, be a woman, black, LGBTIQ, I don't. But let's see what their new political editor at large will be. Interesting. Speaking of the ABC, Pat Dodson, former senator, he was in the Senate for, I think it was 7 years, launched a tirade on 7:30 on this shocking thing called assimilation. Assimilation. Could it be that the black people of Australia are the only people in the world who want apartheid? Separate development? And why? Oh, he said, we are different. Special. Hey, Pat, Senator Pat, Uncle Pat, we are all different and special. We are all different and special. It all ties into this stolen generation stuff, which has morphed into the stolen generations, plural. Really? Just how many generations are you talking about? Or should I say, how much compensation are you talking about? Facts. Children, black or white, are removed from dangerous or unsafe environments. They are not stolen, they are rescued, their lives are saved. According to Senator Dodson, I'm what did he call me? An assimilationist. An assimilationist, which according to him is the worst of the worst. I have the temerity to ask that all people be treated equally. Shock horror. God. Get rid of that Cordeaux fellow. Hell. The Northwest Shelf. I've been dying to talk to you about this. Woodside has been given permission, as you know, to proceed with the project for another 40 years. That will give Woodside the sort of certainty that they must have for such an investment. 2070 seems, I know, like a long way off. But in the scheme of things, it isn't. Why wasn't there even a discussion about this? I mean, why did they dilly-dally with it? We are in the middle of an energy crisis affecting dramatically our cost of living. This common sense move has taken far too long to finalise, just dilly-dallying around the place. But just watch, the Aboriginals, the environmentalists and the Greens will somehow put together millions of dollars and tie Woodside and this vital national project up in court for years, telling everyone who is stupid enough to invest, explore and build in Australia not to bother. Seems somewhere near the Northwest Shelf there are Aboriginal rock paintings. So bloody what? An elder was interviewed, wouldn't you know, on the ABC, and she said, "This is shocking, it's terrible. This government has chosen to support industry instead of our art and culture." Are these people serious? Supporting this project locks in development, productivity and energy independence for years to come. It's important to this nation, as well as sending a positive message which will be heard by investors around the world. On the other hand, 3% of the population, and not even unanimously, I would say it would be like 0.05% of that 3% will be disappointed. Any other decision would have been a disaster for this country. As you know, I don't think very much of Labor's priorities, wisdom or leadership. Having announced this decision, they now have to lock it in and fast-track it in the national interest. No debate, no discussion. You could say, really, it's a metaphor for Australia. This whole thing. This is one of many, of course. On one hand, you've got progress and prosperity. On the other, ignorance and stupidity, which will obstruct and frustrate. Wealth for the people who produce it, the risk takers and the workers. On the other hand, we have the Greens and the Aboriginals who demand, discourage and destroy. Take your pick. But seriously, where do these people think the sit-down money, I don't know what they actually call it, but the sit-down money comes from? The billions of dollars they get handed. Where does it come from? I'll back the workers every time. The bludgers can go to hell. Our power prices, I guess you'd know by now, will be going up on the 1st of July by 9%. This is contrary to the Labour Party's rhetoric, of course. They are liars, up and down, sideways, every inch of the way, and they get away with it. Why? Because we let them. The regulator's report on energy was delayed until after the election. Did you know that? It was delayed until after the election. It was scheduled to be released before the election. But that would have been a disaster for the government. So we get the bad news, too late to do anything about it. What a bunch of crooks. But here's the question. What is the justification for the 9% increase in the cost of electricity? Why? Why doesn't somebody ask them? And tying all of this together is a plain message from the Productivity Commission. We don't cut the mustard. Australia, ladies and gentlemen, does not cut the mustard. Productivity is almost non-existent in this country. It's flatlining, hardly registering on the Richter scale. And you know what? It's all our own work, or lack of it. In this story, which was barely covered by anyone, the ABC went to whom for a comment? The trade unions. Well, of course, the peak body, the ACTU. These people are the antithesis of productivity. They stand for the least amount of work over the shortest number of hours for the most amount of money. And they only represent 13% of workers, 13%. They are a block in the economic and productive S-bend of our society. Working from home, sure, 4-day working week. All a recipe for the situation in which we find ourselves. And the unions want more of the same. This government will do nothing, even if they want to, because they take their orders from the unions, because the unions own the party. What a shocking situation. Here's a fantastic opportunity for the coalition to come forward with contrasting and better policies to fix our productivity problems, but will they? We were talking to the Professor Plimer, last Friday morning about the Liberals' position in political life, about their election loss and the impending increase in the cost of electricity and what opportunities that might throw up for them. The announcement of which, as I said to you a second ago, was withheld till after the election, which I think is pretty disreputable. The Liberals couldn't enunciate their problem. They couldn't enunciate a clear message that would have won the election. They talked about the cost of living. Fine. They didn't link the cost of living to the Labour Party's renewables policy. And they didn't tell people how they would fix the problem. As we've said here, in the garage, in the court of public opinion on many occasions, the cost of living is the cost of electricity, because it affects everything. To rely on renewables is nonsense. It's a con, it's a deceitful lie. And they got away with it because of an incompetent Liberal Party and an incompetent campaign. How can they be that stupid? Labor came to power 3 years ago with their renewables. Then electricity went up 30%. Cost of living went up 30%. Plain as the nose on your face. A campaign made in heaven for you. Couldn't sell the Liberal alternative, could you? I don't know why. It's just amazing. You're in the wrong business. You need new people, better people, who can communicate. Have you thought about an idea for a workers' party? Anybody out there wants to start a workers' party with me? Labor started out as a workers' party, but now it's a bludgers, handouts, intellectuals, academics, elitists party, which is run by the likes of the CFMEU, thugs, bullies and criminals. Now with ammunition like that, the coalition lost the unlosable election. My God, help us. Oh, look. I'll have a heart attack doing this show one day. Chris Bowen. Chris Bowen was on the Insiders on Sunday. I think the Minister for Climate Change is an ideologue and a dangerous fool who literally has been put in charge of Australia's future. A strong advocate. No, more than that, he's an enforcer for this net zero garbage. Now just think what that means. Net zero emissions. Net zero emissions. It is so stupid. It's impossible apart from anything else. apart from being prepared to destroy the village to save it, zero emissions is not achievable. Agriculture would have to stop. No food production, no industry, no trucks, transport or aviation. No factories, no jobs, no electricity, no cities, in fact no people. People would have to stop breathing. Labour should never have been re-elected, but there they are, they have been, using the same blind, stupid, take-no-prisoners approach to the environment as they used with the Aboriginal voice to Parliament. Won't listen, no logic, no discussion, totally closed mind. Lemmings racing towards the cliff and quite prepared to take us with them. Our economy depends on the message and the messages that are being sent by government. Investors need confidence, predictable stability, and the knowledge that the country is being led by intelligent people. Laura Tingle thinks that the Liberals are clowns. Not one word of criticism towards Labour. When it comes to net zero, no political party is above criticism. These people should all understand that the first rule of politics is do no harm. All right, I'm pinching that from the Hippocratic Oath, but it should apply. Do no harm. You guys are going to wreck the joint between you. This Goose Bowen is also the Energy Minister. You would have thought that David Spears would have asked him, and David's good, he's good on his feet, very, very good, I like him. But you would have thought he would have asked the Minister to explain why, since Labour came to power, we have gone from having the cheapest electricity in the world to having the most expensive electricity in the world. And ain't no coincidence. And oh, by the way, sir, Minister, did you tell the regulator to withhold the latest hike in electricity prices till after the election? Do your job, David. It all comes down to the business of globalization. You know, that's what it's about. These idiots have been elected to look after Australia, not the world. When they extended the northwest shelf, I thought to myself, a glimmer of hope. Maybe underneath all that socialist stuff there's some sensible people, but no. It's more of the illogical, twisted thinking of Labour. Here's the truth. Both sides of politics have stuffed up this valuable national resource, failed to encourage exploration. We sold our gas too cheap on contracts that were too long, without prioritising Australia. Australia first, you idiots. That goes for everything. Anyway, here's the hypocrisy. Even if Woodside gets through the rock paintings and the Greens and the court cases and the environmentalists, most of this gas will be sold to other countries. It will be exported. Like our coal, it's perfectly okay for others to use our natural resources. India and China and Japan, the really big emitters, they can use it, but not us. Not us. No. Isn't that amazing? Under Labour, others can pollute and prosper. That's fine. It's so incredibly stupid and illogical as to really be unbelievable. Labour will look after global interests, but not ours. Now think about it. Please, think about it. Cheap electricity for China and India, but not us. And you sit there. I mean, collectively we can do something. I don't know exactly what. Tolerating it is not one of the things that I'm suggesting. And oh, by the way, make no mistake, these Labour idiots are going to introduce a carbon tax or a levy. Like The Voice, a carbon tax is deep in their DNA. It is part of the globalization redistribution of wealth. Not theirs, of course. Yours. We are here, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, with the best wishes of the Rising Sun Inn at 60 Bridge Street at Kensington, one of my favourite watering holes. 8333-0721. There's Grant and Jackie and a wonderful staff, well trained. They really do look after you. The Rising Sun Inn, as I've said to you often, it's regularly chosen, and for good reason, as the best pub or inn in South Australia. And having been built all the way back in 1845, it's got all the character in the world, and with the weather getting cooler, the open fires are on. I think they've got about 4 open fires. Lovely bar. Lean up against that bar. You feel like a colonialist, which is not a bad thing to feel about. They'll tell you you shouldn't, of course. And Jim Elder's Fine Art Gallery in Melbourne Street, North Adelaide. They've had their first big auction for the year. They're at 106 and 110 Melbourne Street. 2 beautiful old buildings. One of them is in fact a church with 2 great big lions at the front door. And the gallery itself is absolutely lovely. Built by Jim and Helen. Took them about 10 years to complete it, but gee, what a job. It's lovely. And if you're looking to get a painting appraised, he will tell you how much it's worth, and indeed, if you want, sell it for you on a global market. 8267-2869. They're inviting people to submit notable paintings for the next auction, which will be in, I don't know, about 2 months, a little over 2 months away. I don't know how much time I've got, Pete.
A little bit.
A little bit. The 400 super care dental service patients. I don't know if you've heard about this, but these are the people who have used their superannuation. Apparently you can use your superannuation to get dental work. They've used their superannuation, $45,000 to $90,000 to get dental work which was never completed. Now these people claim that they were given the runaround, and they're still being given the runaround. 400 people basically left disfigured. Now, this chain of dental surgeries, you guessed it, they've gone into receivership. I think the Americans call it, what, Chapter 11? Receivership.
Part 9.
Part 9. Anyway, these disgruntled patients have little or no chance of getting this vital dental work finished. The Super Care Dental Service also offered their patients financial advice as to how they could access their super to pay for their ridiculously expensive dental work. Now they're left with no teeth and no super. And tell me this, somebody should look at this. Why is dental work so expensive anyway? There should be an inquiry, and if you're looking into the cost of various professions, explain to me how it can be that you want justice, you go to a lawyer, you can end up going bankrupt. Maybe you'll get justice or something that looks like it, but it'll cost you so much. Why? Why does it cost so much? It's a joke. But as, of course, most politicians are lawyers, I don't reckon anything will be done about that anytime soon. Thank you very much for being with us. Some dates, Pete?
Yeah.
Okay. I got them here. And I had the foresight to bring down my glasses. Oh boy. June 3. Oh, that's interesting, Pete.
What's that?
1946, the first bikini bathing suit is displayed in Paris. By today's standards, it would be quite matronly, I suppose, wouldn't it? Oh, I don't know. I wonder what the first bikini looked like, but it was named after the atomic explosion, Bikini Atoll, yeah. 1946, wow. Landmark High Court. That's
chest warmers.
Chest warmers? Shut up, Gary. 1992, landmark Australian High Court Mabo decision was handed down. And it seemed like a very innocent little thing to get introduced into the overall scheme of things. Aboriginals now have, I think it's 57%. They've got title to 57% of mainland Australia. And Warren Mundine was telling me that he believes it'll be 75% by 2030. He's a man who knows. 1925, Tony Curtis, American actor, The Defiant Ones, Some Like It Hot. He was also in Spartacus. He was born in Manhattan, died in 2010, but born this day in 1925. The beginning of the Tiananmen Square massacre as Chinese troops opened fire on pro-democracy supporters in Beijing. This is 1989. If ever you're tempted towards communism, just remember what they do to you, or can do to you, and do to you. Susie Quattro, American rock singer and bassist. What's a bassist?
Bass guitar.
Oh, plays bass guitar, okay. Bassist. Stumbling in, and she was in Happy Days as well. Born in Detroit, Michigan, 1950 on this day. British and French troops, the last British and French troops evacuated from Dunkirk on this day, 1940. Ayatollah Khomeini, supreme leader of Iran, 79 to 89, religious figure, political leader. The Iranian Revolution, dies of a heart attack at 89. On this day in 81. The Duke of Windsor, Edward VIII, weds American socialite Wallis Simpson. She was 40, he was 42. 1937 was the year. She always looked older than...
She did.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Rafael Nadal, the Spanish tennis player, 1986. He was born in Spain on this day. Larry King live. I liked him. He was great. You know, with the
Yeah.
what do you call them? Braces. Yes, the braces. Larry King live. Debuts on CNN, airing each weeknight through December 2010. So he was there from 85 to 2010. Golly. Anthony Quinn dies of throat cancer, 86, on this day in 2001. And I'll just give you one more. General Robert E. Lee wins his last victory of the US Civil War at the Battle of Cold Harbor on this day in 1864. I look forward to seeing you on Friday. I really do, around the dining room table, jeremycordeaux.com, 9 to 12. And you can ring us. We'll have lots of interesting guests. I haven't finalised anything for Friday yet. It's a wonderful, clear space into which I will put all sorts of interesting stuff. And I ask you to come and enjoy it with us. That's on Friday, and we'll be back next Tuesday at 9 o'clock with another posting here on Facebook and podcasts evermore. Thank you, guys. What are you looking a bit like that for? It's the drugs. It's the painkillers. His back is bad. Oh, I so sympathise with you. I really do.
Bye for now.
Okay. Believe in yourself. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Goodbye for now.